Hey guys, I'm just adding this one to a playlist that I'm making because I saw it on Facebook and I want to add it. So I have a playlist called Interdimensionals, and it's a place where I study aliens, UFOs, ghosts, and in the Christian faith, we obviously believe in the second incursion. Most of us do. I don't know how many do. I think my pastor's a little bit slow to that role, but he'll get there. But basically, Genesis 6 and then a second incursion. So there's four intelligent beings in the universe. You have angels, fallen angels, Nephilim, mankind. So if that makes sense. So basically, two of those are angels, one's good or evil, so that makes three altogether. So angels, Nephilim, which is the hybrid of angels and mankind, and mankind. Angels, Nephilim, mankind, and then you have God. God is the fourth kind. So anyway, I want to read this to you guys real quick. There's your big man standing there, ever waiting, ever present, like the coming of the new day. Medicine Man Pete catches. He is both spirit and real being, but he can also glide through the forest like a moose with big antlers, as though the trees weren't there. I know him as my brother. I want him to touch me. Just a touch, a blessing, something I could bring home to my sons and grandchildren. That I was there, that I approached him, and he touched me. Ray Owen, son of Dakota, spiritual leader. They exist in another dimension from us, but can appear in this dimension whenever they have a reason to. See, it's like there is many levels, many dimensions. When our time in this one is finished, we move on to the next. But big man can go between. The big man comes from the great spirit. He is our big brother, kind of looks out for us. The existence of the big man is taken for granted throughout North America, and so are his powerful psychic abilities. The big man knows when humans are searching for him, and that he chooses when and to whom to make an appearance, and that his psychic powers account for his ability to elude man's efforts to capture him or hunt him down. In Indian culture, the entire natural world, the animals, the plants, the rivers, the stars, is seen as a family. The increasing appearance of the big man are not only a message or a warning to individuals or communities to whom he appears, but to mankind at large. A messenger who appears as a warning from the Creator that man's disrespect for his sacred instructions has upset the harmony and balance of existence. The gift by artist Harvey Philip Pratt. And there you see the Nephilim entity known as Bigfoot hanging out with our Native American guy. So I am speculating a few theories here because there's some truth to this. Native Americans, we believe, well, I believe, I've done a lot of research, so I believe they could be a lost tribe of Israel. They might have come over here with Joseph a long time ago because there are some clues that Egypt discovered America long before Columbus ever did. And also hear about that with the Vikings, but I think the Egypt Israel line narrative is pretty good. And then they have a lot of different stuff that colludes with the creation story, the biblical creation story. So right here where he says a warning to mankind, a warning to mankind is sacred instructions. Disrespect for sacred instructions has upset the harmony and balance of existence. That's actually true. The earth was cursed when Cain killed Abel from the beginning. The earth was cursed when the first sin occurred, when Adam and Eve ate the fruit. The earth was cursed multiple times with all kinds of different incursions. It brings a curse upon the earth. And for this reason, we do have to deal with, well, I guess you could say like a violence sort of in the world, a discomfort in the world that we normally wouldn't. Now, these guys, I'm kind of split. I don't know if they're Nephilim, and I don't know if they're angels. I don't know what they are. But I have heard stories about them cloaking and being interdimensional. Um, if you guys know anything about the Bible, and I think I've shared this before. If I haven't, I'm going to put it up. I'll put it up in the comment below. You guys can read it. I did a big study on, I called it the God Killer. And it was about the Alpha and Omega and how, in the end, the Nephilim and the fallen angels are going to go to war with Jesus. Literally, their objective is to nuke him out of existence. If you did any of the research with the cults going back to Crowley and the Illuminati and all that stuff, just giving you guys a basic rundown here. So, like, the end goal is to go to war with God. And you see it depicted in Hollywood movies all the time, especially the Avengers. They call who's that dude with the big glove? Anyway, they call him the God Killer. That is a metaphor to describe Jesus coming back and going to war with the Nephilim that are here in the fallen angels. You know, the devil and his powers and principalities, the devil and his angels. So that's basically Armageddon. You know, so I'm split on Sasquatch. I don't know if it's an angelic being. There's references to cherub, so I don't know if it's angel or if it's Nephilim, but I am gonna lean more on the Nephilim side because there is a correlation between this and paranormal activity that usually falls in that spectrum. Angels are benevolent. Sasquatch has a malevolent nature where it could be like violent and aggressive, so I don't know. I know when I went looking for it, I had no problem finding it. So I had no problem getting in areas where these guys were. So I went out Cedar River, Michigan, and I have no problem being around these guys. You can always sense when they're there. Um, I'm not afraid of it. I'm not trying to combat with it. I'm not trying to fight with it. I just want to let it be. I'm not trying to have any relationship with familiar spirits. But, you know, if it is a Nephilim and it is walking around in the woods, it's obviously not something that I want to deal with. But I don't know. I don't know if it's, I don't know which side of the spectrum it is. And I don't want to speak ignorantly against that either because that's something that reprobates do. They speak ignorant of dignities. So I don't know if it's good or evil. I don't know. If I could know, I would tell you. And one thing that we do know is that angels can appear, like the devil can appear as an angel of light. We know that fallen angels can take a form and also be a spirit. So these things have the ability to take form. But we also know that when the earth was flooded, that kind of wiped everything out. And then there was a second incursion. Now we're assuming that maybe they went off planet or into the oceans to kind of hide out, but the destruction of the earth was to wipe the Nephilim out. And then there was a second incursion because in Genesis 6 it said there were Nephilim in the world in the days of the flood and then after that. So they must have come back somehow. And that is basically a hybrid. Uh, if you guys want to get technical with it, alien boinks a human, out comes Nephilim, or fallen angel, cursed creature has sexual relations with a human woman. They create a Nephilim. Nephilim child has sexual relations with mankind. They continue to make the offspring, and that's how you end up with like female entities. Because the sons of God are all male, so it would have to be their daughters, and then we would have the female entity problem going on here. And you get to hear about that with many different people with DMT trips and stuff, how they run into female entities. The gods of old, the heroes of renown in Genesis 6. Now, there is only one God, but everything else would be demonic in nature, and that's just scripture. It's either demonic or it's a minister of God, meaning an angel. So, but I don't know everything that he's created, so I couldn't tell you what is or what isn't. I would just be suspicious about this one, and I had no problem making contact with these guys. I heard one walking around, and I was like, oh, he's getting close. But definitely want to let them hang out and do their own thing, and I'm going to seek out God and his angels instead. I think that's the best way to go, look for those ministers instead of, you know, the opposite. Got to be very, very careful with this supernatural stuff. There's my face. You guys can see me down in the bottom left corner. That's about the only FaceTime we're going to get with each other until I do a full video. Anyway, I'm going to go put this up on my interdimensional playlist. You guys have a good one, and I'll link that below along with the scripture on that if you guys are interested in that. I know a lot of people aren't into Christianity, but it's just my study on it so far. Let me close this out. You guys have a good